What's going on, people? And thank you for tuning in for another beer battle. This one's a very special beer battle, just to celebrate 2,000 subscribers. So I want to thank you all very much for that. And I thought, as a way of saying thank you, I'd get me tits out and do a topless beer battle, just to sort of up the sex appeal a bit, you know? Because one of us beer reviewers has got to be sexy, do you know what I mean? Anyway, for this beer battle, I'm only joking, of course. Just a bit of fun, innit? Look at that bloody bruise on my arm from when I passed out. Jesus Christ, I didn't realise it was that big. You've got Stowford Press. These are two cheap ones as well. These are sort of, you know, your bog standard, mass-produced ciders that, you know, you can get on a budget. That's why I put these two up against each other. They're both from Tesco. They're both a pint can, which is always nice to see. No messing about with the can size on this one. And a Stowford Press here was £1.50 for a pint. And you can buy it individually, which is always nice to see. You're not forced into buying a 4-pack or nothing like that. And then you got Crumpton Oaks, which is 5% ABV. And this one's only 4.5% ABV. So the Crumpton Oaks is stronger. And this one's only £1.10. So it's half a percentage stronger. And it's cheaper. It's 40p cheaper. But you know, it has to taste good, doesn't it? That could mean it's as rough as a dog's arsehole. So hopefully the beer tastes good. The can-wise, you know, they both look all right, I suppose, for cheap ciders, don't they? I suppose they're not too bad. Let's crack them open. Let's see what they look like first. Let's get it in the glass. I wonder if I'm the first person to do a topless beer battle. Could be a new trend. Right, let's get a Stowford Press. Stowford Press is brewed by Westons, and I've reviewed a couple of their ciders and they've been really nice. So hopefully this will be alright, but it's only 4.5%. A lot of the other Westons ones are like proper big boy ABVs, like 7 and 8%. So we'll see, won't we? Let's get the Crumpton Oaks cider in the glass. They both state that they're medium dry ciders, but I'll be the judge of that. Let's have a look. This one looks lighter by the looks of things. Yeah. And more carbonation. There's a look at your beverages in the glass in all of their glory. A bit like my tits. Yeah, I would say the Crumpton Oaks one's a little lighter. It's more carbonated. But they both just give me that sort of dehydrated piss sort of vibe about them. Only the Stowford Press is a slightly more dehydrated piss. You've had a few extra pints before you've done this piss, you know. Especially where it's less carbonated, it's just giving me even more pissy vibes. But anyway, let's get the hooter in there and check out the aromas of the respective beverages in this particular beer battle, which is, of course, Topless one. Gotta have a laugh, ain't you? Right. Very sweet apples I'm getting on the Stowford Press. Not a lot. It smells quite nice. It smells quite appley, and it smells quite sweet. But it's an apple cider, isn't it? I mean, it smells as you would expect. There's no sort of unusual aromas or nothing going on. It just smells like an apple cider that's a little bit on the sweet side. Right, let's check out the aroma of the Crumpton Oaks. This one definitely smells different. This one smells more of a tangy apple. A lot more tangy, and it smells a bit leafy as well, this one. Definitely smells less sweet, but it smells a lot more tangy. Perhaps even a little sour. I don't know, aroma-wise, I'm going to give it to the Crumpton Oaks. None of them smell particularly amazing. They just smell appley. One's a tangy apple and one's a sweet apple. But I would rather have a tangy apple than a sweet apple personally, because I don't really like sweetness. Right, taste test. Let's crack them a bit. Let's chuck them both down the neck and let you know whether I think either of these cheap ciders are worth a buy, or are they perhaps both a bag of shit. Let's crack on. Right, in first was Stowford Press. Cheers, everybody. I only said Stowford Breast then. Ugh. Bosh. Okay, no bells, no whistles with this one. It just tastes like a bang average apple cider, I'm not gonna lie. It's a little bit bland and a little bit watery in all truth, but it's perfectly drinkable. It's just not like, oh yeah, that's well nice. It's just sort of okay, very, very average comparing to the ciders I've tried. It's fairly sweet. For me, it's more on the medium side of the sweetness. So more on the higher side of the sweetness levels than medium. Sort of medium to higher sweetness levels, if that makes any sense. Yeah, just sweet apples. Not a lot else really going on in the flavour department. A mildly sour vibe on the end. It's all over a bit quickly, you know. You just get them sweet apples, a little bit of a sourness, and it's gone into the next mouthful. Yeah, overall impression of that one, it's okay. I'll probably give it a 5 out of 10, 5.5 out of 10 max. Not too bad, perfectly drinkable if you fancy cider and it's on tap or whatever. Or you want a cheap bang for buck cider, that'll do a job. It's inoffensive enough. Doesn't taste particularly artificial or anything like that, to be fair. But it is a little bit sweet for my taste. That's the overall sort of conception on that one. Anyway, let's jump in with the Crumpton Oaks. And see whether it's any better or worse. But you're definitely getting a bit more bang for your buck with this one, as I say. 40p cheaper. 40p cheaper. And 0.5% stronger in ABV. Will that make a difference? Could the quality of the ingredients be really crap? Let's find out, shall we? Let's chuck it down the neck. Cheers, everybody. Bosh. Ugh. Again, it's not amazing. It's just a bang average cheap cider. It's not that bad though. There's some things I prefer about this one over the Stowford Press and vice versa. I'm preferring the slightly more sparkling approach this one's taking. It's just a gently sparkling, where the other one's kind of flat. I prefer the gently sparkling cider. It's less sweet, which I prefer. But this one's got a kind of slightly artificial sweetness or tang to it, which is less sweet than this, which tastes like proper sugar, but it's artificial sugar, so it's kind of like, you know, I don't know, definitely more tangy. Very tangy apples and quite dry apples with this one, certainly more dry than the Stowford Press, which to me is probably a good thing. It's got a bit more, it's a bit more of a crisp taste to this one. It's hard to say really, because this one tastes a little bit artificial at the same time. I think the extra ABV is giving it a bit more flavour though. And the carbonation, the gentle sparkling carbonation is just helping to push the flavours of the apples and that round the mouth. It's just a shame about the artificial sort of thing going on here that you get with Strongbow and shit like that, you know. But overall, I'd say they're both worth a buy if you're on a budget and you fancy a cheap cider. They're not horrendous. They're okay. Again, they're not fantastic. They're just cheap. They taste a bit cheap, but they do a job, to be fair. They're not too bad. You could make a snake bite with them or whatever to use up some of your crap lagers that you bought that you don't like. Overall, would I give this one a 5.5? I'm feeling about the same, but if I had to pick one of these up again, it will be this one, for the purpose of it being 40p cheaper, and for me they're on the same sort of level, and I think I could session this one more than that one, but it'd probably give me more of a hangover because of the artificial shit that I can taste in it. But this one's too sweet for me to session. So yeah, in the end it's very close, but just for value for money, you know, it's just the one thing which really stands out between these, and this one is exceptional value for money. It's £1 a pint, a bloody £1 a pint. You know, in this day and age, when you're literally getting your pants pulled down and shafted by a big-breasted man like myself. Not really. Yeah, I'm going to go for the value for money option on this one. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you've enjoyed me titties and maybe even the beer review as well. Until next one, consider subscribing, like the video if you've enjoyed it, and bye-bye, darlings.